All right, here we go. Call number 61. As you know, I'm always excited for these calls. These are amazing opportunities to give back to the community. Tonight, I have just an absolutely amazing guest. So happy to have her on to showcase, some of the opportunity we've been talking about recently for Walmart. As if you were on a call Tuesday with Salem, he talked a lot about the opportunity with Brand Direct and also with RA, excuse me. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about the opportunity around clearance. And that's a place where I haven't done a lot of work. And I just think there's just a lot of exciting opportunity there. And to me, we have one of the biggest personalities, one of the top sellers in the game on the call tonight. And so very excited to introduce to you guys the crazy flipping mom, Emily, to the call. Emily, thank you for coming. Appreciate it so much.
Hey guys, it's good to see so many familiar faces here too. I love it. And like a ton of new people. I love meeting new people in the space. And remind me before I get off, I have a code for the Miami seller event. I just don't want to forget. So
got it. It's on my list. It's on my list. I got notes here,
okay.
And that was one of the things. I wasn't sure if you got the code, but that's actually awesome because so they don't have dates yet, right? I was on a site last night and it doesn't even look like they have dates yet.
You and Brian, you guys can write all of your, hey, Brian, he was like, when are the dates? I think it is the second weekend of May. I'm still waiting for the final date, but I've been hounding him. So second weekend of May, I can like send a little verification and just get any more info that we can, but that's what it's looking like.
Perfect. I love it. So are you speaking? I guess is a good question. Like, is that something?
Yeah, I'm speaking. I'm his partner at this event. This is my first year being a partner. So, yeah, I went last year and I did speak about Walmart, and then there was an opportunity to become a partner with him for the Miami event. And yeah, I said, why not? That's always my answer to everything. I met this guy in Vegas do you guys know Alibaba? You know that event? There's like a lot of private label, and there's a bunch of private label people getting together. They're like, we're going to go zip lining. My answer to everything is why not? So don't ask me unless you're serious, because I was like, why not?
I love it. I love it. So, I mean, and we'll talk about that a little bit later, but if you have like any like insight or update about what that looks like or what changes might be involved now that you're a part of it, love to talk about that later. So
yeah,
let me know if there's an opportunity to do that and we'll get into it.
I would love to hear what you guys want to see this year. I met Brian there last year, and I'm definitely interested in all your takes, what you want to see, who you don't want to see, all of it.
And I know a couple Brian's. Brian Limitless you're talking about?
This guy, Brian, right here.
Oh, Falcon Brian. Oh, okay. I don't know if you know that nickname, but
he's my bestie, this Brian.
Okay. So you probably know about the Falcons then, but yeah, on the live streams, he's known as Falcon Brian. So
she hasn't heard that story. That's from Tony Cruz.
Okay. All right. Cool.
My bad. But I know I see like a bunch of women from my group. Morgan, Victoria, thank you guys, Lisa. Okay, my group is mostly women and Brian, and then there's another guy, Ron. You have to be pretty. We say a lot of shit in my group, so like the men dip out pretty quick. Like you have to be pretty thick skinned because we're gonna make you cry. And so the guys who stick around, I'm like, okay, you can hang. All
right, so we were going to talk about your group later, but so it's interesting. Well, let's just dig into it a little bit now, and then we'll get back because I want to talk a little bit about your story before we get into the clearance stuff. But So tell me about your group, because I'm ready to join your group. I'm like, hey, I really like what you're doing. I like what I see. Your community is about. Let me hop in. But it's mostly. Sure. Which I'm good with. I grew up around women, and my industry in communications and marketing was dominated by women. So I'm not scared of women, but tell me more about your group.
Yeah.
Maybe we can get some more men to be a part of what you're doing.
Yeah. And you know what? I'm always like, if you're a single man, you should be joining my group, because Every single man who comes on a call, that's my first question. Are you single? Are you looking to mingle? Because I know somebody for you. But the other question is, do you have to be a mom to join the group? That's usually the big one. No, you don't. Crazy Flippin' Mom came from when I was just like eBay Poshmark seller 9 years ago. And I would ask people on these community events like this, tell me your flipping story. Tell me your best flip. And that's when I was like buying estate sales and doing more thrift stores to eBay, that sort of thing. And so it kind of just stuck with me. And we launched Crazy Flippin' Mom. This is year 5. And it is a app. We built an app. I didn't build it myself, but I paid somebody, built an app. It mimics social media. And you can share your hauls. I have 5 years of every course. I've been going live on social media for two times a week for 5 years. And it's all there. The good and the bad and the ugly. You know, if you go back 5 years ago, it's probably all completely different conversation than what we're having today. But yeah, I'm live Monday and Friday there. I bring in the best of the best in this space, people who want to scale to wholesale. I know everybody and they all come and share. And it's more community feel, you know, like I definitely don't know all the answers. So I just bring in people who do and share their wins, losses. There's a lot of people jumping on Whatnot right now, and I love to see them win. And like we get on and support their shows. So we kind of do a little bit of everything there.
Okay. And then, so is it based on your social media presence that is mostly women and moms, or like how did you get to that?
You know, when I started, there wasn't a lot of, so like 7 years ago, I've been on Amazon 8 years. 7 years ago, I was looking for community, and my friends are I'm a super bad salesperson. I'm like, join or don't join. Like, we don't have time. And my friends are like, tell them to join. Join or don't join. That's the thing. When I started joining communities, I don't know if anyone was around Amazon space like 8 years ago, but it was like the freaking mafia. It costs a lot of money to join these groups, and you would get kicked out really easy. I got kicked out of a group. Okay. And I know everybody in the space. These are people who have like rebranded several times. And also everything was geared towards men. Very few women represented. And so that was, I go to a lot of events too, and that's how it is. I don't mind it, but I created a space that was primarily for women at the start. You know, like I know so many women, moms who are in bad relationships, bad jobs, and the message, even to this day, is you need to be making 50 million a month or you're not winning. Where I feel like if you're making a $3,000 a month, that's winning. That's impactful for me. That's impactful for my family. That's impactful for a lot of people I know. And sometimes in this space, we minimize that, like small growth and small numbers. Like to me, that's big impact. So the focus is a lot of arbitrage on, we focus heavy on Walmart, and we hate Walmart. We hate everybody there. And we talk a lot of shit about Walmart, but we do make a lot of money on Walmart. Okay. We do a lot of Amazon too and whatnot. And, you know, if you come in, you're like, I want to do wholesale. I have wholesale people. But a lot of arbitrage, like going to, everyone's cashing in on clearance right now. Walmart is clearancing. So my husband was going to leave me if I didn't clean up the house with all the clearance. So that's what I was doing today. That's the kind of stuff you'll see. A lot of people sharing pictures of hauls, asking questions, you know, a lot of like, hey, I'm going to get deactivated. What should I do? So, yeah, it's an app. You download it on your phone. You join it from a desktop, join live calls. Yeah.
All right. So I'm still good to join, and
you can join. Yes.
Okay. All right.
Definitely. So, we will definitely make you cry, especially if you come to events and party with us. I guess you guys partied with us in New Jersey.
I tried to party with you, but we so if you weren't at Sellers United, me and Paolo were there.
Okay.
Yeah, we were there.
We went to the bar. So I don't know if Paolo stayed, but somebody picked this bar. I guess it might have been you were influencing it
for sure
for the karaoke. But we didn't realize that when we got there, they didn't take credit cards. And it was something weird with the ATM or something. And it was like 5 things on a menu. So a bunch of us left and went to another bar, but we missed you on top of the bar doing karaoke. So we should have stayed. But, you know, then we all met up at a bar at like midnight And
Oh,
I met
yeah.
actually some really cool people at that night. But
That
yeah,
was
so I
fun.
guess Miami, if you've not been to Miami Sellers Conference, you need to go. It was the first event I went to. It was freaking amazing. And now that Emily's a part of it, it should be even better. So consider that and wait for the code a little bit later.
Yeah.
All right, perfect.
And nobody parties harder than women who have kids at home and are getting away for the weekend. No, like you
Oh, yeah?
cannot out party me. And we go so hard. And then I think the longer it got in the night, who was the people with me? I know Morgan was with me. Then I was just talking shit about all the other influencers in the space. You missed it. I was like telling everyone I hate all these people. Then I woke up the next day apologizing, sending apology texts. So that was a lot of fun.
I love it. See, that sounds like my kind of people. So, all right. So I'm going to look for you. Well, they're not going to be hard to find in Miami this year. So let's do it. And I got to figure out, I did the pink hoodie in Miami last year. I got to figure out some kind of wild color. Maybe we'll go with like Chartreuse or something like that.
Yeah,
something crazy.
Who all was in Miami last year?
I was there. Looks like Falcon Brian was there. Who else was there? Actually, I can't even see the whole screen. Can you see the other people who are raising their hand?
No, I can't see everybody. That's okay though.
Let's adjust the view. Let's see who's on here. Tile view. Who was at Miami last year? Anybody at Miami? It was just Falcon Brian? Yeah, I don't remember. Let me see. Anybody else I meet there? Yeah, it looks like that's it that I see on this call. Another guy who's usually on the live streams, Ken. He was there, met him there. There's a couple other people that we usually connect with that were there. So, all right, perfect. So we got the group out of the way. Let's talk about you and your story and kind of how you got into this. So you talked a little bit about starting with eBay and Poshmark. Why'd you start in the first place?
We needed money. I think I feel like everyone starts, if you're selling on eBay, you're like, I need money and I don't want to sell oils and face masks. And I actually thought it was a scam. I remember getting on Poshmark and I was asking every other person who would talk to me, is this a scam? Because I'd never heard of like reselling clothes. Like I didn't think people bought used clothes, anything like that. So it was a big learning curve. That was really the first time I had ever been to a thrift store and started taking it seriously. That's to me a shame. Did not go into a thrift store until like 10 years ago, but started selling and crushed it. Like it made sense to me. And immediately it went from like, I can do this. I think I made like $4,000 my first month selling our stuff to it just hit to like, I need more. What I was saying is like, I need more units immediately. How do I cut out thrift store, get more product, flip faster? I immediately hired help. Like it all made sense to me. It was the gateway drug to Amazon. Right. And I really liked the community around reselling. I went to Poshmark events. That's when Posh Fest was a little bit bigger. Poshmark was just on the up and up. Now I don't know if it's still, I don't know. I could still be, but I feel like it's kind of faded a little bit. And am I wrong? Does anyone still sell on Poshmark?
Tyler, you sell on Poshmark, right?
Is it good?
To be honest, I don't have like too much units. Basically whatever I sell in Amazon and I get returned or I don't sell it, so I just list it in like a lot of platforms like Mercari, Poshmark, eBay. Yeah.
Right.
But I mean, to be honest, for me, because I don't have too much inventory, it moves, but it's slow. Same as Mercari, it's so slow. Yeah.
I was on Poshmark before the bots took over, and it was a little bit different. I think then bots kind of changed the way like the algorithm found new buyers. So, so I opened an Amazon store because I saw people getting rich on books. That's when books were big, and I was like, I can do that. I couldn't do that. I tried, and I like went and I found somebody who sold books. I showed up at their apartment, and Lisa, you unmuted yourself.
Oh God.
I know.
Sorry.
Lisa's my bestie over here, but she needs to stay muted unless you guys all want to get cussed out.
Unless you guys don't want to get through the call. How do somebody mute me?
I'll mute
no
you.
idea how I did this. Thank you.
Got it.
Anyways, so I went to someone's house to pick up books and they were a chain smoker. I love smokers, but you can't buy their books to sell on Amazon. So I was like, well, I suck at this. I tried several like different ways that I was seeing people on YouTube. And mind you, like nobody cares who I am at this point. Nobody cared who I am on social media till like 5 minutes ago, honestly. Like everybody was following Reezy, you know, these big 10K on the Bay. He Refinement Mind. He's now Refinement Night. Like these big guys. I don't know if you guys know them. Never mind if you don't. But
Reezy for sure.
yeah, definitely Reezy. So it just didn't work out for me. Like I recalled all my inventory. And I, you know, like we usually do on Amazon, you're like, I suck at this. I'm moving on with my life. And I kept my account though. I don't know what I did. It was so long ago. I don't know what I did, but I ran into somebody selling discontinued on Amazon. And that clicked. That was more of the ROI, what I was doing on eBay and Poshmark. So, and the numbers you could get on discontinued on Amazon were insane pre-COVID. You know, like you could find some bug spray and flip that stuff for $50 a box. And I live in Midwest, like we're only small town dusty grocery stores here. So it was like the perfect entryway for me to go back to Amazon. That was like a year before COVID started. So I was selling discontinued. COVID started in March and I woke up and I sold all my inventory, everything I'd ever posted on Amazon. There was a flood of people rushing to Amazon to buy because the shutdowns and grocery stores were emptying out like on the coast. Well, in Iowa, like, listen, in Iowa, the shit doesn't exist. Okay. So people were rushing to the grocery store. If you're from small town, you know, like we buy our own beef from a friend. We have gardens. We have a lot of space. Like we weren't rushing the store like what we were seeing on the coast. So I had a lot of products still. It was just a wild time. Everything sold out like random, discontinued. Was anyone selling during this time? Deodorant. It was all gone. And I was like, oh my God. This is I saw how much you could sell on Amazon basically in a day. And before that, it was kind of like one-off, like eBay situation. That kind of changed my perspective on Amazon. And obviously the demand on Amazon was insane. The next couple months, I just locked in. I got off social media because I had so many orders. I sit up all night and I turned my kitchen into a ship station. And I was just shipping orders, you know, like 400 orders a day. And my husband would like help me drop and I didn't sleep. And that was like COVID era. It was really, really insane. I wish I could go back. Not to the whole COVID situation, but like to that moment, because it probably will never happen again. Something like that. I hope it doesn't, but just how it played out for sellers was wild. I mean, you think all of the buyers on Amazon had to turn to small sellers doing merchant like me. You know, like FBA was done. FBA was sold out and they were only accepting like medical supplies. So back to school season and it was me and like 5 other sellers selling pencils. It was insanity. Basically never looked back. My husband left his job. The demand of Amazon was so crazy. That like maybe 6-7 months later, he left his job to help me. And we then not too long after that, maybe 4 or 5 months, because I was sharing my progress. Everybody was like, can you help me? I was doing these hour calls for like $50. I was doing like 200 a month. People were just like, can I pick your brain and ask you questions? And I was like, okay, book a call, $50. And that turned to just $50 a month with our community now, $50 a month. 2 times a week. I'll talk to you. I'll help you. We'll help each other. And we launched that and never looked back. It feels like forever ago. My husband and I both work together today, still doing the same thing. Amazon and Walmart, we're launching into Whatnot next week, I think. And yeah, I work from home in Iowa. We have 4 kids. And that's the story. Did I cover it all? And we're still, honestly, the biggest part of that story, I know sellers are like, oh God, she's rich from Amazon. The biggest part of that story, though, is that my husband and I stayed together, working together on Amazon. If you're not working with a partner or a spouse, you don't know how freaking difficult that is. That's the main one. So yeah.
And we were talking about this on the call the other day. I like to get into certain things to help make it real for people. And that's one thing we talked about. I think it was a buddy of mine. Oh, it was Salem. We were talking about his partner, and just for you, like you kind of covered my point. Is like, how important is it to have either a partner or like a spouse that is there helping you, supporting you? 'Cause we know that reselling, or especially for the new people who may not know this, reselling is lonely. And I can say that from a person who's probably got one of the craziest networks in the game. Outside of talking to people every day on group chats, being on these calls, it is still lonely. Like, you're still alone a lot of the times, and you don't have somebody, like your family's all like, you sell on Amazon? What does that mean? Or your friends are like, dude, come to the bar. Like, why are you packing boxes? How important for you is it to have, your partner there who can talk to you, understand the game, and help you through it?
Yeah, community is really everything. And even if I didn't have Brandon, because I'm like a woman, they say on TikTok, it's like women who are in the healthiest relationships hate men. That's me. I have like the best husband in relationships, but you'll always hear me talking about men.
Wait, I want to join your group, but I don't know if I'm safe there.
No, I'm super honest too, and that's really the truth. I love them to death, but I hate men. No, I like men too, but he has been like, we tend to downplay how great we are, our greatness as humans and what we can accomplish. And when you have somebody who's with you who can like call that out, who can say like, no, that's a mistake. You're not a mistake. Oh, you made a misstep. You can keep going. That's amazing. And a lot of people quit because they're not partnered with the right person, even in their business or a relationship or a community, right? Like, there's so many communities out there, and you'll find somebody who's in Arbitrage who has $500 budget, and they're in a private label group, and they're like, I suck at this. I'm never doing this again. Well, it's not anything. You're just connected to the wrong people, and finding the right people can change your entire existence, can change your entire life. 100%. Finding the community, and it's my community, but I truly believe it's the best people. I have the best network. I'll go toe to toe with you. I have the best network though, and they have changed my life. And it's the connections I've made, and not just connections like money. I've made tons of money by going and networking, but the mental health aspect of what we do is very lonely. My mom to this day thinks I'm on OnlyFans. That's what she tells everybody. I wish I was on OnlyFans. I would probably make more money, but people do not get it. And like, you don't have this wall that like grabs all the negativity of your day, like a peer group at work. You're getting everything. You're getting bombarded by IPs, by, your credit card just got scammed, people stole all your money, to count deactivations. You are feeling the weight of your business, and then you throw on top of that illness. You probably don't have an A+ personal life. Some things are probably happening bad. So doing this on your own, I think you can be successful, obviously completely alone, but success is way more than just what's in your bank account. And for me, that's community. Community has been pivotal to my existence in every way. But if you have a terrible business partner or spouse, leave them immediately, because they're taking you down, you're taking them down, you're not going to go anywhere.
Right. Okay. Perfect. So let's talk a little bit about, and I feel like I've been doing this a lot more recently, because I'm hearing more people talk about Walmart, whether it's just they're hearing about it for the first time, or they've kind of settled in to their Amazon business and are like, all right, I need to diversify. I'm hearing a lot more people either applying, trying to figure out how to do that, or just like, hey, is this Walmart opportunity real? So before we talk about what we want to talk about tonight is kind of the clearance opportunity. Can you talk just quickly about what the opportunity is at Walmart as you see it?
So is everybody selling on Walmart already?
I don't think everybody is, but
not on Walmart. Who's not on Walmart here?
All right, let's change the view. Let's see who's.
I would love to see who's not selling there. It has been a tough Walmart year.
All right, Manny's not on it. Jenny's is trying to get verified. declined.
In
Kiki's
Q4, they were not accepting new sellers. I don't know if that's still the case. I mean, Morgan is on here. She might know something different, but yeah, they were not accepting anybody in Q4, and that was because I don't know if you saw this article that came out about selling on Walmart and how it's just like scammers and sellers who
like
steal identities.
recently or like
Yeah,
August.
it was like it was August, September.
Okay. Yep.
That-
Yep.
Yeah, they've had some heat on just allowing everybody on the platform, so they basically shut it down. It's very difficult to get on, and it is one day you're like, this is the best situation ever, and the next day it's very difficult. And I hate to tell people like, yeah, jump on, it's amazing. 3 years ago it was amazing. Now it's a lot of up and down over there. Yeah, I guess that's similar to every platform. You should be on Walmart if you're not. So hopefully soon they'll be letting people back on the platform, but they are actively updating and changing the platform. And the sellers who are there are getting just blasted on all sides. You know, one day you're selling, the next day they're like Inform Act or, you know, IP, or if you guys saw the new one in your account health today, if you get negative reviews, that it counts against you. Well, we know that most buyers on that platform leave seller reviews on their products. They'll be like, oh, I hate this product. It tastes gross. They're leaving that on seller profiles. So it's just a lot of changes. It's ugly. It feels ugly, but you know, we're making money, so we're still there, but it's kind of a fight.
Yeah, and so and I'll reiterate this. If you weren't on a call on Tuesday, Salem was talking about it, and he's like, "Hey, if you're thinking about it, do it now because it's not going to get any easier." And I just illustrated an example. Most people are like, "Hey, you know, it's taking months to get approved, or I'm getting declined over and over again." When I applied just a little over 12 months ago, I applied and I was just getting started. I literally just started on Amazon. I got approved in less than 24 hours. It was overnight. And so you're not really seeing that anymore. So it's not going to get easier. So if you're thinking about it, apply now. Or somebody thinks something said they're not accepting people to the end of January. Apply now, apply at the end of January, but do it now. Don't wait because it's going to get harder.
Yeah, it'll definitely get harder, but yeah, I would apply at the end of January, beginning of February. It is a lot of like dealing with opening cases, talking to support. So if you don't foresee yourself wanting to do that, a lot of returns, just the hassle. I think I see Tracy on here too. She was on here second. She's also a Walmart seller. A lot of people, I would say most of the people in my group are Walmart sellers, and they're like, oh God. We need to be doing shots if we're going to talk about Walmart and all their issues.
Exactly. All right. So we know that Walmart is an opportunity. I really appreciate that you at least, and we were talking about this a little bit. I see so many of your posts every day, and I'm just like, how does she create all this content? Number one. Also, just like, what is the clearance game? I don't understand it. I want to know more. And I think that, people also want to know more about what that looks like, how you manage it, how do you keep track of when clearance is going to happen? And ultimately, how do you push the product?
Yeah. So before this, Amazon, we were basically buying things at retail. I would almost, I think I said this somewhere, I never went to a clearance out because that stuff just wasn't on Amazon or the brand was selling it. Once Walmart came around, huge opportunity on Walmart. Yeah, Morgan said, join the group. We share clearance. Like that's the primary thing we sell. That gave us an opportunity to go get all of that stuff, all of that product and flip it over there. I mean, before they just gated a lot of brands. Before that, you could sell everything. When I started selling on Walmart, I could even sell Walmart brands like Great Value. So think of all the Great Value you see in the clearance aisle for like 10 cents. I was just clearing everything out and sending it in and see. And that's really the best way to go about a new platform because number one, like I said, the returns and the scams are a big issue. So I wouldn't be investing a lot of money on like one or two products. They're going to get scammed, but when you're in clearance, you can take that risk. You can like test it all out. And that's what we're doing. We're able to test a ton of different products. It is a different buyer base than Amazon. These are not the same buyers as you find on Amazon. So you can't just copy and paste your whole catalog from Amazon over to Walmart and think it will all sell. But what Walmart does really well is understanding its consumer. So if Walmart is selling it, you're going to be able to sell it well on Walmart also. Like they know that their consumer wants those bluey shoes and the women want the Paris Hilton knives. Like you don't have to do a lot of back research on that stuff because they've already done it. So when it comes to their clearance, we've been able to like basically take all of their research, grab it at a clearance price and throw it on. And yeah, we are using their, like we know when things go on clearance there. Number one, once you start realizing you can resell their clearance, you realize everything's always on clearance all the time. But during the year, there's a couple big clearance times. Right now is one of them when all of their winter, like Q4 stuff starts to get moved out for their spring. So you'll see huge markdowns happening right now. Also, hot tip, a lot of stores are remodeling. And when they remodel, they mark down their current clearance, current products super, super low. The other time that they mark down clearance is at the end of fall, like right after back to school. Everything is marked down. And that's when you'll see people going out with like U-Hauls and picking up tons of stuff. Yeah, so I'm definitely interested if you guys have questions exactly what clearance looks like for me. But I go to the store every day of the week, maybe not Sundays, that's the Lord's Day, but every other day I'm in the store. I pick up tons and tons of clearance. They don't usually have a clearance aisle. A lot of stores do have one small one, but now they usually keep the clearance in the sections. So you actually have to go to the shoe section to see the shoe markdowns and so on. Like food will have like an end cap with the food stuff. So it's a little bit different now. And not all stores are created equally. So if we have about 8 Walmarts around me and 4 of them suck. So they never mark down. It's bad markdowns. They take like 6 months to actually mark them down to a buyable price. But I do have several that they will go from full price to $1 to 50 cents real fast. So I am in there every day. I actually have the staff. They know me. And we're always sharing hot tips when I walk in, like, did you see these markdowns? So I get to know everybody. I talk to like Walmart staff that walks around. They love me. And I go to a lot of stores. I like Walmart clearance, although there's tons of stores you can shop clearance at. But for me, because I'm doing Walmart to Walmart, it's just like a no-brainer. I go in, grab a bunch of stuff. For me, that's probably my max. I don't have anybody working with me right now. I send in hundreds of units a month. I probably have to bring somebody in to like add it any more, maybe in the future. But for me, I'm like tapped out right now. Yeah, a lot of people drive. They'll drive like up to 30, 40 minutes. Before, I don't know what happened. Like a couple of years ago, I would drive states with the U-Haul and I would really buy out stuff. And now I'm just like, fuck that life. I don't know if you can say the F word here, but
yeah, you can.
Like this world like ages you dog year style, like crazy. Now I'm like, I don't want to drive. Don't make so I have my stores. I buy a lot online too, but I'm not doing the states.
So are you doing seller fulfilled or are you only WFS?
No. So when I got started, I obviously during COVID, I did seller fulfilled. And my first Christmas on Walmart, I think we did like 40,000 in sales in December, like 4 years ago. And that was all seller fulfilled. I started seller fulfilled. I think like my biggest Amazon seller fulfilled was 100K on just seller fulfilled, me alone at my house. And I never want to do that again. I like have arthritis in my hands from that. So once you go hard in seller fulfill, you're like, that was terrible. Never want to do it again. So I do mostly WFS. I did some seller fulfill. This was the first year that I wasn't like doing 400 orders a day. I sent everything in.
And so I think, Morgan answered just a little bit, but talk me about creating listings. I know that it's a lot easier to create listings on Walmart, but if you find something that's not listed, is it easy to list something?
Yes and no. They are cleaning up their catalog and removing any misbranded, anybody who bought like a fake UPC situation that's not set up correctly. All of those are getting removed. If you have a bunch of UPCs that are not registered correctly, a lot, you could get yourself suspended. So it's not something I would highly recommend just waking up and doing it without any research. I don't know a lot more other than that, although I am Walmart to Walmart. So I'm pulling their own catalog. So I don't have the problem of not finding listings. And most of even the Amazon listings are there. You just have to search for them. If someone's not live selling it, you have to search it in the catalog.
Can you clarify that? I mean, maybe your people know, but what does that
Sure.
mean, like a fake UPC?
So back in the day when people wanted to get Amazon listings up, we would list it in a generic. Does anyone remember this?
Oh, right. Yeah. You
Right.
I still
Or
see that now.
you go to eBay or a knockoff website and get UPCs for like $1 a pop. So that's not the right way. That's not the right way. That's a shortcut. So if they go to research that listing and it's not registered correctly, it's going to get pulled.
Okay, because so for me, like, and I didn't even consider this, but I always thought those generic listings were just people who couldn't get ungated in a brand and were just trying to skirt it. But you're saying that it could be something else.
Yeah, it could be something else. I mean, 5-6 years ago, I made tons of generic listings on Amazon just because I was doing multi-packs and I wanted to create bundles. I did a lot of seasonal candy. So that's all gone now. And they did roll out something, I want to say in the fall, that said they were basically taking down those multi-pack listings, bundles. Again, this is not something my area of expertise, but you do have to be careful creating those because it's the cleanup with all the fake product over there. I think it's all getting jumbled, pushed together.
Yeah. Now, I think you may have, answered this question, but maybe I want to dig into it a little bit more. But like you say, like some of the Walmarts around you suck, but like how do I determine? It's like there's a super Walmart or whatever it's called, or Walmart superstore right by me. Like how do I know if that's a good store or not?
You have to go in. Every store is different and the manager that marks it down will be different. So some are really aggressive and they want to move out their inventory. We have seen some though, reselling. I have a friend on Whatnot and she's buying Walmart clearance now from Walmart. Like they're liquidating it to her. So I don't know what stores are doing what, or if like managers can do whatever they want to do. Like they have that oversight, but basically, yeah, stores mark down differently. You'll go into some with manager specials at 50 cents a dollar. I have an amazing Walmart. I actually host a seller retreat here in Iowa. If you want to come visit me in Iowa, the home of $5 margaritas. Last summer, we had the retreat and we all went sourcing. I took everybody to Walmart. It was amazing. And, I don't want to toot my own horn, but we had like some pretty big wig people in the space there. We dragged their ass to Walmart too. It was a lot of fun because I have an amazing Walmart. So everybody in my community hates me for that. Secretly, they're just jealous because I have like the 50 cent, 10 cents markdowns where you'll go to another store across the country or across a city and it's like still $7.99. The only way is to walk in that store. You can buy online clearance, but it will usually never be as good as in store. So like a pair of shoes, for instance, will be like $7.99 and you can buy those, have them shipped to your house. Great. That's still a good flip. But when you go in the store, sometimes they'll be $3.99, $4.99. So there'll be like a price difference there. And you just have to go in and check the stores out. Really, there's no other way. I know there's groups like Deal Soldier. That would probably be one of the best options to like put in your zip code and see if they're running a clearance on, like Fisher Price basketballs or, something Fisher Price toys or something. But really it just takes the legwork of running around and figuring out what stores you're going to start sourcing at.
And I guess, like to kind of piggyback onto that question, right? So I say like, I'm going into my Walmart and then nothing's on clearance. So that place sucks, right? But if I go to Walmart and like, I find like, I don't know, let's call it like an air fryer and it's like normally $99 and, I find it for $10, but it's not selling, right? It's like, that's probably like the nuance that you're going to get in the group, right? So it's like the clearance is great, but none of these items sell. So, you still have a terrible Walmart or whatever the case may be, right?
Right, definitely. And I think my average buy price right now, because I'm running this new series in my group, everybody should be netting $3,000 on Walmart every month and talking about how to do that, how to like big principles, break them down. And you really have to know your average sale buy price minus $3. My average sale price on Walmart is $18. And I don't buy, Morgan said she doesn't buy anything over $5. That's my peak price too at Walmart. Now that I went clearance, once you go clearance, you don't go back. I buy stuff for like $1 to $3 all day. Selling it, I mean, upwards, some amazing flips, right? I found shoes I was flipping for $54 a pop. I think they were $5 at my store. So all day. And you know, yeah, you send stuff in, some of it doesn't hit. I stay away from seasonal. That's a big change that happened once I started doing clearance. Originally, if I go to shows like Alibaba and ASD and all, you know, those events, and they ask you what you sell, I say confectionery. Seasonal, Brock's, that's my category. Once I switched to Walmart and started WFSing, I don't do a lot of seasonal anymore because those get price suppressed. So all of those like really high volume, high seller flips, it tends to be price suppression that starts happening. And so I just started sending in clearance. I sent in a ton of clearance over Q4. It did amazing. Just stayed clear of the seasonal candy. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, 100%. All right, so let's see. We're still.
I've never heard of Divine. That's interesting. Yeah, our seller retreat date is coming soon.
Yeah, Divine. That's one that I might have been in that group for a little bit, but they have a pretty solid presence on social media. Is that Santiago? Oh yeah, of course it's Santiago. I gotta say shout out to Santiago. There's a couple of people who are like super regulars. Don't get me banned, bro, because I see it already. All right. What up? Oh, actually, while you're here, I mean, you always have questions. Do you have any questions?
I just wanted to say hi to Emily because the last time we talked was the Miami Sellers Conference, and like she was like egging me on to like get into Walmart. So I just wanted to shout out Emily. What's up?
Did you get on Walmart finally?
Dude, they're like, I've applied twice. So like, okay, so I fumbled the bag the first time. I applied with my personal email, which was a big no. So I reapplied with my business email, but then they're like, there's already a one account with an EIN. I've opened 1.5 million cases telling them like, hey, listen, just delete that old account, like put the EIN to the new one. And like, Walmart support is as useful as a car with no wheels. So it's like, it's ridiculous. But yeah, I'm just kind of waiting to see if, trying to get that set up,
Yeah, I don't know. Definitely. It's been Q4 was terrible. If you can go to I don't want to say go to the Walmart event because honestly, I hate them. I hate what they've done to sellers, but at the event, I was able to get people approved, so like when you can talk to support there, you can get a lot done. I think Prosper is the next event they'll be at. That's in Vegas in March. I am like, hi, it's me again. Here's all my people. And I start getting them in. It's difficult online, a lot easier in person. I know though that sucks because like you're going to fly across the country to talk to somebody. It's not practical.
No, like honestly, for me, like if that's what it takes, like I don't mind. Like because like my plan for 2026 was to start going to more conventions and start networking a lot more. So I really don't mind. But my biggest goal is to sell on Walmart because like because the thing is like I have a contact with at EE distribution, so like I can get like Pokemon, so like I can get like sell Pokemon and I can get them in like pallets. So it's like, dude, like I want Walmart because like if I can get from the distributor directly and just like offload Pokemon, like I can print. So that's why I'm like itching to get onto Walmart.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it could be helpful to go to a show, see who where they'll be at other events too. They'll show up, their support team. But at the Walmart event, I had a couple people who had applied and were sitting, and I brought their information. And that evening, like 4 hours later, they were live. They were approved. So that was crazy. Like, who do I have to buy shots for to get these people approved?
Let me tell you, I will happily buy anybody from Starbucks if they need it, just so they can put me in, bro. I'm itching to get in there.
Where are you? Are you like at a hookah bar? What is all this smoke?
No. Look, at a K-pot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
love it.
Sorry, I've just been eating, but I didn't even realize my camera was on before because like I just had it up and I didn't realize before. But yeah, I was just eating on cam, which is like kind of rude.
Yeah, no, you're good. I was like, wait a minute. That was something in Miami. I ended up at a club with Dan, Thousand Asins, Steven, and I did hookah with them all for the first time. like just living. But yeah, hopefully you can talk to somebody and you'll get on it. Hopefully what Morgan is saying is right. At the end of January, they'll be letting new sellers on over there. It's been real rough though. I even have had good contacts and they've ghosted me this last month. I don't know what's going on over there. I really don't know.
Thank you for answering.
So,
Sorry, bud.
no, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say like, and also another huge thing I was gonna say, dude. I've been loving your content. Like I've been loving your content. You've been doing a really good job. I've literally been following you since MSC. So like, just keep doing what you're doing. You're killing.
Hey, I appreciate that. Thank you. That's nice.
All
I
right, so
was telling Omar, I really only get hate online, so I really appreciate the love. Oh, that's sweet. Okay, if anyone does wholesale beauty, they email me. They're going to be at Cosmo. Okay, in Miami at the end of the month. Is anyone in Miami? Might be worth going.
Wait, what? Are we going to Miami?
check in the chat. There's talking about Walmart being there at that conference in Miami.
I use
Cosmo.
WAMP. Have you ever used WAMP? It is Seller Amp's tool and it's free. I'll throw the extension in.
Yeah, absolutely.
I like this one because it shows the badges. So you should open it on Walmart. It'll show like if the listing has had badges before, where it says in 500 carts, 1,000 carts. So I like that kind of stuff, that data. Also, if you've ever met Al and Allison, they're amazing. The Seller Amp team is amazing. So yeah, it's still in beta, but it's available.
And let me see. So I mean, we are at time, so I'd like to be respectful. I don't know if you have a hard stop or not at 10.
Oh no. Whenever I can stop talking.
Okay. No. We're good. We'll go as long as we need. Obviously, and be respectful. But do you want to quickly just talk about MSC real quick, and then we'll just get back to the Walmart stuff,
yeah.
just so we get in there. Your coupon code, and then anything you have about what people can expect from MSC. I would just give like just a general overview for folks who haven't been there, because it seems like most people here haven't been there yet.
Sure. So honestly, last year was my first event, and I'm going to be honest. Avery asked me to talk and I said no, because it seemed like a party of guys who wrestle naked on the beach. That's just not what I want to be a part of. I did go and it was awesome. I was very impressed with the guys, and I actually had to come back and tell my group, because my community, we were laughing about it. And then I came back like, actually, it was awesome. I love those guys. A lot of younger guys, super like inspirational. Their stories, they're crushing. I loved it. I really did. And it's a lot of sellers, people. And that's the hard thing. I go to a lot of events. A lot of them are agencies and booths selling, and you don't get a lot of seller interaction. So if you're looking for more seller interaction, my event in Iowa is great because it's all sellers. This event in Miami, great, like everybody's selling. And from small, like I met people there who were just getting started, who heard about it, to doing millions a month. So the stories are impactful, and you do walk away learning something. And I think the most important thing is network. The most important ever in this business, network is key. So when you show up, you're going to meet people who can help you, like next steps help you. If you want to go from 100,000 to 200,000 or 1,000 to 2,000, there are people who can help you. It looks like the second weekend of May. I think all those dates are getting verified. And so the pre-sale ticket price is $600. And if you guys, I don't know, like the time limit you have to buy this ticket. You can just say that Emily sent you. I guess that would probably be your coupon code. But I have Romer's email, and I can connect you. You can just email him, PayPal him, and he'll add you to the list. Once the website goes live, I think in 2 weeks, it'll be $1,500 for everything. That includes everything. That includes the event, the party, and the yacht. So there's a big yacht. It's like tons of parties happen. And that's where you're going to network. And the last night, there's a big yacht that everybody gets on. And it comes actually up to the hotel. And yeah, everything is $600. If you're interested, you can PayPal Avery, and he'll add you to the list. But do you guys have any other questions? I know Brian
Yeah.
was there. Brian's been there a couple of years, so he might be better at describing this than me.
And Brian, feel free to go, and if not, I'll talk about it. I'm happy to.
Well, I mean, I was there, yeah, March 2024 was my first one. And I mean, it changed my life. The networking changed my life. I met Andrew and Amanda Thompson, and everything that I ended up doing with them and the prep center and everything, like my business has totally taken off with all the people that I met and the connections that I made. And yeah, I mean, you know, I went to college. I'm a college graduate, and you know, it's one of those funny things to say is that college was amazing, and sometimes I even went to class, and that's what the Miami Sellers Conference is like the conference is amazing, but it's the people that you meet and the interacting with everybody. It's more so than going in the room and listening to the talkers. You should go listen to the people who are speaking, but I'm just saying it's all the stuff that happens after hours. That's where the magic happens.
And can I say just real quick, because I think this is important, because I lead with networking first. Don't like skip over that story with the Thompsons, because I think not only obviously it changed your life, but I think it's pretty crazy that you did what you did, kind of just meeting them out of the blue. And this is the type of opportunity that can happen. So if you can tell them what you mean by that, I think that would be helpful.
Well, I went to Miami Sellers Conference not knowing anybody. And I mean, there were some influencers that I knew, and but I was scared to go up to them at the beginning when I first got there. And so the very first night, they put you in a networking event, and I literally knew nobody at all. And the person who sat down next to me at the table was Amanda Thompson. And we started making small talk about where we each were from. And she said that she lived in New Hampshire and she grew up in this tiny little small town in Maine. And it's the same exact tiny little small town in Maine where my wife grew up. And my wife went to the same high school as her, but 20 years apart from each other. And one thing led to another, and we just kept in touch. And fast forward, 6 months later, they had opened a warehouse for themselves just to run their Amazon business out of. And I was going through a home remodel at the time, and I was in a tiny little apartment, not my regular house, and I didn't have room for all of my stuff that I was self-prepping. And I asked them if they'd be willing to, and they live in tax-free New Hampshire. It's a very important part of the story. And so I asked them if they would be willing to prep my stuff for me if I paid them to do it. And they said, that's interesting. Let us get back to you. And the next day they said yes. And fast forward to today, that's really their primary business, is that they're a prep center now, all because I asked them that question. And so it kind of changed both of our lives that way.
So, I mean, I think that's really fantastic. And, just to add on, and I have nothing to do with the Miami Sellers Conference, so I'm not selling you anything, but, if you know me, then you've kind of heard this story, but, it was really just a great opportunity for me to go out there. I wasn't brand new, but I was fairly new, and I was able to touch people that, you just watch on TV, not TV, but like social media, and they're all there. And I think Reezy, he spent like 30 minutes telling his life story, and it really touched me. And I was just like, you know what, let me go up to him. And I talked to him, and great dude. And, we've been in contact since. And there were so many people that you could touch and feel, whether it was Amazon, Walmart, social media, TikTok. I met, Trevin and Kate Peterson. Those guys are really huge on Amazon influencer program. There's just a ton of people that you can meet. And like Emily was saying, you got 7-figure, 8-figure sellers there, but there's also, I met a woman who hadn't sold anything. She barely just got started. So you meet all kinds of people there. I met a couple people who had massive businesses and either got deactivated or gated on a project or product, and then were able to connect and blow their businesses back up. I mean, the networking opportunities there are just really fantastic. So if you're thinking about going to a conference, that's a really great one to go to. And you'll see the marketing really kind of gives you like Fire Fest like feeling, like with the influencers and like, oh my God, it's crazy, and the yacht and the beach. But I think it's less about that, and that's just more like the glitz and the glamour. But when you get there, there is a real opportunity to execute on something and to be a part of a really great community. So Emily kind of had the feeling when she saw it, And you might get the same feeling when you see the marketing that it may be one thing, but it is for everybody, men, women, old, young, experienced, not experienced. So consider it. Again, I have nothing to do with it. I won't make a dime if you go. But I do know how it impacted me personally and what I do today. And so, if you have that chance and you're available to go and you have the money to do it, I would say definitely go. So anyway. All right. What else? So
And
it's
also,
10 after. Go ahead, Santi.
I was just gonna share my own experience about MSC if we have time for it.
Yeah, go ahead.
So for me, it was kind of crazy. So I was kind of a psychopath. So I literally went I was brand new in Amazon. I didn't even do it for a month, and then I hit $1,000 in sales, and I was like, oh shit, I'm cooking, And then I went and I was just watching. I was learning from Miles on Instagram. I mean on YouTube. I was learning from Miles. I watched his course. I was just absorbing Miles' content, Fuels for Profit. I just started watching and absorbing content, and just learning and just did everything myself. And then I saw it. I was like, oh, Miami Sellers Conference coming up. And I was like, oh, you know what? I live in Miami. So it's I've only been selling for a month, but I mean, I live here. So what's the excuse, right? So and I was like, okay, let's go. And then the price was it was ridiculous. It was $1,800 I paid or something. And I was like, Jesus Christ. And that was, looking back at it, I was a psychopath for doing that because I didn't even make $1,000, not even profit. I didn't even make $1,000 sales. And I went and paid $1,800. But it was the best decision I've ever made because I went and I got to meet I was literally starstruck because I was watching for a full month, watching Miles and watching Warner on YouTube. So and then I go there and then they're literally walking past me and stuff, and I was like, what the, wait. So it literally felt like a starstruck kind of moment, and I was super nervous to go up and talk to him because I was and I went up and I was super nervous, and the thing is about me, I'm pretty extroverted, so I don't really get nervous often with people, but for me, I was every single day I've been watching this guy. So then I was I kind of went, hey, I'm a huge fan. I love you. YouTube. I literally, I just started I started glazing him in 4K. Oh, dude, you're freaking awesome. And then he's like, oh, dude, we literally sat down and talked for a full 45 minutes. And in my mind, I was just dude, there's no way that this guy's sitting here just talking to me. And it just blew my mind. And then I joined his program. He's like, hey, you know what? You seem really cool. You should join, whatever. And I was like, yeah, dude, let's do it. And it's been an amazing journey. I've learned so much from not only Miles, but all the connections I've made. And and Miles has been pushing me to push do social media and stuff. So I started doing social media, and then opportunities have been arising, and it's just kind of my whole life changed from going to MSC. So I don't know, for me, that's my own experience. And same thing like Omar, I'm not getting paid for it or anything, but it's for me, it was the best decision I made when it was a crazy decision, a brand new seller, but if I do it again 100%. And I prepaid my MSC last year. As soon as it ended, I was like, oh yeah, I'm buying it, dude. So, but yeah, if you guys haven't, if you guys have thought, thinking about going, 100%, you got to go. It's awesome, dude.
All right, perfect. I love it.
Can I just say one thing to his, and then I'll stop talking? I know I'm over time.
No, it's your time.
Everybody should go to events. If you have something around you, you have a show, a trade show, you should show up. But you have to mentally prepare because these opportunities do not just fall in your lap. If you are not willing to step outside of yourself and go up to people, you're going to leave disappointed no matter what show it is. And I've gone to plenty of shows with people who think the world's going to happen, and they go and sit at their own table and don't talk to anybody. And then they leave. We've had two different experiences because I'm talking to everybody while they sit at their table. Show up with intention and, figure out what you're going to do, who you're going to talk to. Not everybody's extroverted. I get that. But you really have to step outside of yourself and make it happen, because network is everything. Because I don't know everything, but I've met people in this space who've been able to connect me with the world just because I showed up. So show up at I don't care, at Miami or whatever event is around you. There's Prospers coming up in Vegas in March. That's ASD. Is free in Vegas. If you are in Vegas, I wouldn't say go there to buy, but it is a trade show. You can go there and learn the language. Sweets and Snacks is a trade show. So I guess whatever you're looking for, but there's plenty of opportunity out there.
Love it. And I just joined your app and completed my subscription. So I'm in the game. I'm in the mix.
Okay.
Here we go. So yeah, I mean, I think, obviously, I appreciate you going over time and
Sure.
giving us the game. You can't cover everything in a 1 hour call, so consider joining the community. I just did it, and again, I'm not making any money off of it, so I'm trying it out. Hopefully, I don't get kicked out or banned for being a man, and maybe some of you men, Paolo, you sound like you're interested. It's in the sheet, so if you want to join, go join. And you can be like, we can go shoulder to shoulder and compete with some of these women, so.
Yeah,
there we go.
Michael's. I was gonna say, Michael, aren't you there too? Brian is there. We have some great guys in the group.
All right, there's a couple of guys. All right,
Yeah.
so you're in there, Michael. Okay, all right.
Yeah,
I thought it
you're
was just
not
gonna
the
be
only
like
one.
me and Falcon Brian. So like, geez, man. It's like, it's gonna be
that's
rough,
me.
but all right, cool. All right, well, listen. So Emily, you did say that you want to do this again, and next time we're gonna do drinking games. So let's prepare. I wish you would have said that earlier, because we for sure would have did drinking games. I would have pulled out my Lowe's chain and we would have had a great time. But
Next time.
let's definitely do that. I'm gonna get my feet wet in this group. The next community call is going to be next Monday. Actually, is it next Monday? Yeah, it's next Monday at 9 p.m. Going full time with wholesale with my buddy John Cutler. That is going to be a really fantastic opportunity. And we are starting the live streams again next week. Thursday, I believe, is going to be the day, and we'll do those twice a week. Be sure to check out. Oh yeah, so some of you guys are adding your emails here. So all of Emily's details, community, Instagram, podcast, the coupon, WAMP, everything is going to be in the notes, so I will give you access to that. And then, if you're not in a group chat, which is where everything is going, the replay for this call, so you can catch up on it, all the details for all of the stuff that's coming up moving forward, it's all going to be in a group chat. And let's just see, just for giggles, who is this joining extra? Okay, Jennifer. I don't know Jennifer, so I won't give her crap, but it's usually Tony who joins like 3 seconds before we close out. But so hop into the group chat. That is going to be pinned at the top of this. And in that way, you'll always be updated on when we're doing these calls. But Emily, I have to say thanks again. I deeply appreciate your candor, your energy, and then everything you do for the community, just like, we try and do here. And then we will work on getting you booked again. Maybe if I survive your community, then we can figure it out then, and then make sure we can get some of the ladies and fellas that come back to the next call.
Sure. And we'll have to do a meetup in Miami one of those nights and go party and do karaoke or something.
Not sure if I'm ready for
after
that, but okay.
You're gonna come. You're gonna come. But thank you guys for having me.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. Wait, what'd you say, Sandy?
Oh no, I was just gonna say no. Thank you, dude. You're awesome.
All right, beautiful. All right, well, we're out of here. Again, the live stream is going to be, the replay is going to be up probably